Lucy, I'm going to imagine you're going to cheer much of this on right now.
Of course I am. Thank God we finally have a politician within the coalition, or more specifically the Liberal Party, Paul, that is actually prepared to put out a vision for this country, who is happy to celebrate things like manufacturing, advocating for Australia to return to greatness in that aspect. I mean, just the other day, actually, I was starting to read an old speech that Robert Menzies gave in 1958. Where
now, you need to get out more. I'm watching stuff live. At least it was live. You've got your feet up, your husband's asleep, and you're just sitting there.
And I'm deep diving into a speech that Robert Menzies
Please, let's go back to 1958.
Yeah, let's go back to 1958, in which he was addressing constituents right before the election in November of that same year, where he praised things like our ability to manufacture things like cars. 70% of them at that time were either being made or assembled in Australia. This is 1958. We were manufacturing refrigerators, washing machines. We were doing things in this country. He was also at that very same time celebrating the discoveries of things like uranium, copper, the use of aluminium, bauxite, all of these things. Mount Isa being this wonderful place of discovery that he attributed to being something very exciting. I mean, there is nothing controversial about what Andrew Hastie is saying. I do agree with the commentary that he is a future leader of this country, but the fact that, say, for example, that car video that he put up, Paul, that it resonated so well and gained so much traction across social media is a sign that this is something that resonates with the Australian people.
I agree, but then there was sort of the thin-skinned response because Judith Sloan didn't quite back in the full idea about the manufacturing of cars.
She called it protectionist.
Sure, but Judith Sloan and the Australian is hardly going to be the great enemy standing in the way of Andrew Hastie. And
no, it's his own party members who were actually then going out and leaking stories to journalists from the Australian and disgracing themselves, which is the exact problem that this party have at the moment, which is the infighting, the factionism, and also this idea that what he's putting forward is somehow presented as controversial is absurd. So he was right to call them cowards and muppets. That's exactly what they are. Put your name to your criticisms. If you are going to act like a coward, at least have the ability to do so publicly so we know exactly who you are. Andrew Hastie has balls, and that's exactly what this party need right now.
Love it. All right. So, Stephen, again, I sit here nightly, and one of the things post that election defeat was to sit here and look at the numbers, and perhaps I'm too drawn by the demographics and the this and the that, and can this be moved and that can't be moved, all right? I say that every week, all right? Some people see that, I remember Paul used to just scream for the sun. Okay, great. Have you seen what's happened in the past two elections, all right, where there's a whole bunch of problems. Now, I think Hastie's obviously going to look great on telly, obviously going to be great in a debate, whacking away on many of the issues of which I completely agree with. But also, and it's not about Andrew Hastie, it's just about where the joint lands, that 100 seats in the parliament are currently held by people who are progressive, which does not mean they are voting for progressives because the other ones aren't tough enough.
Well, I think that's the correct analysis, Paul. I mean, Andrew is pining for an era where Bathurst was being fought out between the Fords and the Holdens.
You can say Holden. I know you're
those days are
you're
gone.
allowed to say Holden.
No, that's a bad. I can't.
Come on, I still believe the lion lives in my heart.
But seriously, I mean, Joe Hockey stared into a camera on the floor of Parliament and dared the car companies that remained in Australia to leave. And they did. It was Joe Hockey who looked up into the cameras in Parliament and dared them to leave. And they took up his offer.
It's like saying the doctor who checks your pulse is the one who killed you.
Oh, Lord help us.
Well, unfortunately, the Liberals have form in this. If Andrew wants to champion that position, well, welcome to the Labor Party. I've got a membership form. I can slip him and he can just sign up, because he is arguing the points that Anthony Albanese, Tim Ayres, Ed Husick have all been making for the last 3 years. We need to have a resilient manufacturing base for national security reasons, and I absolutely endorse that. But Andrew, it's bipartisan. Most of your party don't believe in it, but welcome to supporting Labor's policy.
All right.